What is up? Is everybody here yet? Maybe. Yes. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am sorry again that I have not been able to do regular live streams like normal, and I will not be able to this weekend, as far as I know. However, I have some very interesting news for those of you who are either coming to Thailand or looking to travel to Thailand anytime soon. What's up, Asia Unscripted? I'm loving the Vietnam videos, man. Looking great over there on the channel, bro. Everyone, if you would, please be kind enough to hit the thumbs up button. And that being said, I'm going to just jump right into it here because this could get a little bit, it could get very interesting here because you know, there's a lot of things that go into play here. For example, I have essentially, let me give you the short version, then I'm going to read from some sources. Okay, so Bangkok and a couple of the provinces near Bangkok had a cluster of outbreaks, mostly from entertainment venues here in Thailand, and they've spread a little bit. Currently, as of today, as of the making of this video, there has been no, yeah, Matt, I 100%. I got vacations booked this month. I'll talk about that in a second. Good morning, James. But what's happened is that the Thai government's come out and said right now there will be no, Thai government bans or restrictions on things, but it could get much worse quickly. What they're doing right now is leaving it up to the individual mayors of each province. So far, there have been 3 provinces now that require you to either do, if you're coming from one of the 5 high risk or high controlled zones that they're called. One of those are included in Bangkok. Mango, what's up, man? Don C. Hey, Don, good to see you, brother. I'm close to coming over. Cool. You might want to wait a couple days till what I'm getting ready to talk about is getting ready to hash out. But I'm going to give you a bunch of information right here in this live stream that'll help you make that decision, I promise. So they're leaving it up to the individual provincial mayors whether or not to impose travel restrictions on each province. So they're like, you got Buriram. There are 2 more provinces that I'm going to read to you here in just a second that have imposed, if you come into their province from one of the 5 highly controlled or red zones, which include Bangkok province right now, will be a few weeks. Beat up. Awesome. Well, then you'll be good to go anyway, Don. Okay, no worries about that. But if you go into those, if you come from those provinces and go to their provinces, you have to either do a 14-day queue or you have to have a negative test when you get there. So let me get the article up here and I'll read this to you. This will provide you with a lot of information if you're coming in or now if you've had, like in Don's case, if you've just come in from a ASQ, which he'll have to do even though he's done he's already had his magic shots. So if you come in on after an ASQ or whatever, then the rules doesn't apply as far as needing another queue or whatever the case may be. Hey, Robert, thank you. And yes, definitely. The travel fund can always be, I'll pin your comment up there, can always be helped via PayPal or Super Chat. So thank you very much for putting that up there, Robert. I appreciate that. Mark, good to see you, bud. So here's the gist. Let's see, Don C says April 1 is 10 days if you have The V. Couldn't. Don, use the word V. I don't want, because I don't want to get. I'm going to remove your comment, but and I'm going to remove that one too. No disrespect to you at all, brother. YouTube thing. It's just a YouTube policy. But if you've had V, if you've had both magic shots, yes, it's 7 days. That's right, Mango. 7-day queue if you've had them both, and it's been at least 14 days, but no more than 3 months. That's the deal. If you come in and you have not had your magic shots or your jabs or whatever, thank you, Don, for the super chat. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate that very, very, very much. Good news provided evenly. Thank you, sir, very, very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Always helps. Always helps. Now I'm gonna read this article to you so it'll be a little bit clearer, and then we'll answer some questions as time goes by. So no zone color coding changes for now, says Thai COVID CCSA, but the situation evaluated day by day. So in other words, it's going to change every day. And when they talk about color coding, they're talking about the red, orange, yellow, green color coding systems for each individual province in Thailand. Don C says, "Wow, am I not providing clear info?" No. It's using the whole V word. The YouTube will flag that in the chat. That's why I don't use it. That's why I say people that have had their magic shots or something like that. If you use the whole V word, YouTube will flag it. That's why. So it has nothing to do with your information. You could talk to me about it all you wanted to, Don. It's YouTube, and if it's in the chat, they'll see it. Their little AI will pick up on it, and they may demonetize the video and or take it down. That's the reason I said don't take it personally or anything, because it's not, has nothing to do with you, brother. It's all about YouTube. You're all good, man. Gregory says, why has YouTube got such an issue with it? Oh, because they're scared people are going to give misinformation. There you go. That works, Don. That works. Thank you, buddy. It's just a YouTube thing, man. What's up, Big C? Good to see you. Yeah, Gregory, that's just unfortunately the way it is right now. So I'm gonna read through this, and then we're gonna answer questions and try to get you guys some good information. As we first announced on our social media channels earlier this afternoon, the CCSA has opted for no changes in zone colors, which mandate restrictions in Thailand for now. Everything is for now, okay? The announcement was made at today's CCSA press conference and was made by the deputy spokesperson. I can't pronounce his name. A proposal had previously been made to potentially raise the zone status of several provinces, including Chonburi, which would have brought additional restrictions, including an earlier closure. Right now, Chonburi is on a midnight closure, just to let you guys know. Officials had earlier ruled out any sort of national curfew or LD for now. This followed a recent cluster of the illness, mostly stemming from the entertainment venues in Bangkok that have even affected politicians and celebrities. Instead, the CCSA supports regional and provincial decisions in places where there have been clusters. So basically, it says that they will give guidance and support on such as Bangkok closing entertainment venues in 3 main districts, Buriram mandating their own queue for people coming from high-risk areas, mostly Bangkok and surrounding provinces. This process will be mandated and run by provincial disease committees and each provincial governor. As of 8 p.m. this evening, April 7th, the Chonburi governor has not announced any additional restrictions in the Chonburi province. Chonburi is where Pattaya is, in case you guys didn't know. Chonburi announced, they did announce 10 new illnesses on April the 7th, mostly linked to the Bangkok stuff. The CCSA said that they will evaluate this on a daily basis, and this morning's announcement was made before several prominent doctors stated that some of the recent cases are coming from the UK. That one, and I'm just going to leave it at that. For now, things stay the same as Songkran looms ahead, which is next week, Monday through Thursday. Although it will be toned down to only minimal activities. What's up, Ty? Ty-tastic in the house. Good to see you, man. Minimal activities, mostly religious. The Pattaya News will provide regular updates and is your source for accurate and factual, unbiased information about the current situation, Thailand, and Chonburi. Let me go to the other article, which mentions the actual. Hang on 1 second, guys. There's going to be a lot of checkpoints coming in from about 1,200 checkpoints across Thailand for Songkran if everything stays the way that it is. So that's something you guys should probably take into account if you're coming over. Let me see if this was I read 2 articles this morning, and it says, I want to find these are talking about celebrities and government officials that have been or that have tested positive. So that's not the right article. So let's find the right article. It is saying in here, hey Lyle, it is saying any major Bangkok shutdown to prevent spreads will cost a loss of more than 5 million baht. Thai prominent financial organizations warned. I want to know if this is the same article that I just read, because I just read an article that talked about the different provinces that are under control right now. I'm trying to find those for you. Give me 1 second. So you guys will know there are provinces that are close to Bangkok, and if you come from either one or from any of those provinces, why did I lose my place, guys? I never do this. So I'm gonna eliminate that. Oh, here we go. Okay, very important part right here. Very important. I found the article. So I'll wait on it to load here on my cell phone. I'll read you the article itself, and these are what I talked about earlier. Jonathan says, just wear your motorcycle helmet you get through checkpoint. Fast track may be true. You're in holiday mode. Yep, I am in holiday mode, and this is what happens. Okay, so Karat follows Buriram by implementing the 14-day queue for visitors from Bangkok and 4 other high-risk areas, or taking a rapid test. Okay, so you have to take the rapid test version. Karat, and there's another province that just did it too. This is from Karat, Thailand. It says, at a meeting with high-level Nakhon Ratchasima officials this morning also called Karat. Decisions were made similar to Buriram in that new measures were being made for visitors planning to come to the province from five high-risk areas, including Bangkok. The new measures mean one needs to do either a 14-day queue or take a rapid test at a local hospital at their expense. They're expensive, by the way, very expensive. Hey, Ty Guy Bry, just catching you up, man. You have to go back and watch the first 15 minutes. I'm going to kind of give a summary at the end, and hopefully that'll help. But here's the important part right here. And that, by the way, those rapid tests are very expensive, and you have to pay for it yourself. So if they have come from the following provinces, so this only if you're coming from these provinces: Bangkok, Pathum Thani, Nonthaburi, Samut Prakan, and Nakhon Pathom. If one is coming to Karat from a state, a ASQ in these areas and have their proper paperwork, these measures do not apply. So that kind of hits back on what Don was saying earlier. This follows an escalating number of the illness, primarily in Bangkok, traced from entertainment venues. Bangkok shut down 192 entertainment venues day before yesterday here in Thailand to try to eliminate some of this stuff. It's unclear how Karat intends to enforce this, but is likely to use checkpoints and village health volunteers to identify out-of-town visitors. This decision comes only days before Songkran, and many people who were likely expected to return home for the holiday. So for those of you that don't know, Songkran, many people, Thais, they return to their homes, like the Thais that work in Bangkok and some of these provinces around Bangkok. They return to their homes in the north, or well, most of them are in the north, and you know they may have a problem getting back to their home, which is just not good. Here's another province. If they can't travel back during Songkran, that's going to be bad, because Songkran is a kind of like West. If you take the West's version of the family time, you know, that kind of thing. Songkran is kind of that here. Gregory, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm trying to give you guys as much information as possible, so hopefully that this will all help you guys understand what's going on and when it's coming. Here's the other province that has now implemented restrictions. Remember, it's only if you come from those five provinces, though. So if you live, for example, in Rayong and you want to travel to Karat, no problem. But if you're coming from one of the five provinces I mentioned, there's a problem. I hope I say this right. Buengkan, Bungkan. Information has become very useful with over time of my plans. Good, Gregory. I'm glad I'm here to help provide it. So, Buengkan, Mary, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Good to see you. Thank you for dropping by. That province announces mandatory 10-day queue for people coming from the five high-risk provinces, including Bangkok. From Bangkok, Thailand, I think is how you pronounce it. The northeastern province of Bangkok, which borders Laos and Nong Khai, has announced restrictions on travel for visitors from five high-risk areas only days before this year's Songkran festival. Normally, Songkran is the busiest travel period of the year. For visitors from Bangkok, Pathum Thani, Nonthaburi, Samut Prakan, and Nakhon Pathom. Those are the 5 provinces. If you live there, or if you're coming from there, have been there for a while, yeah, I know, man. I hear you, Asian Unscripted. I would love. I should have took my chance to go to Vietnam when I had it, I think. Chris says, will this man stop by 2020 June trip to Pattaya? Who knows? At this point, I've been optimistic the whole way, man. I really have. And it just seems like no matter what, people, they start rolling in the bees, right? The magic shots. They start getting them in, and people start to get comfortable and do dumb stuff. That's what, and they let their guard down as far as the safety measures that Thailand has put in place. And it's horrible. It really is. It's disgusting. It's a lack of being an adult is what I call it. It really is. James says, I heard there's a 3rd wave in Thailand right now. This is what we're talking about. That's why there's zoning areas. Very true. This is exactly what we're talking about, James. Will this mess up my 2020? I don't know. I have no idea, Chris. I don't know how long it'll last, brother. No idea. Gregory says, don't worry, Australia is like this, with the states opening and closing randomly over 1 or 2 cases in each state. Mary says, been wondering how many will be going to Phuket in July. I have plans to go to Phuket later this month. So I'm worried, very worried. Asia Script is not too late to come, just a slow process. I hear you, man. I'm gonna see how this works out, and then we'll see what happens. It took 2 months to get everything set up. Wow, that's quite a bit of time, but it would be worth it for me. Okay, so for visitors from Bangkok, Pathum Thani, Nonthaburi, Samut Prakan, and Nakhon Pathom, they will be required to do a 10-day monitored queue if entering the province, effective immediately. This is the 2nd province following Buriram, actually it's the 3rd, that has enacted restrictions on people coming from these areas due to fears of the illness spreading. The announcement was made in their local paper. The page noted bars will remain open in the province, but under strict observation. Notice they did not give an option for a rapid test there. I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Bongkhan, there is no option for rapid test there. So you just got to do a 10-day queue. That's all it is. Chris is obviously, Chris, you're either a troll or you're not listening. I'm gonna say it one more time. Okay, good. Robert's got him. Thank you. Mary says, yeah, me too. I've been bouncing from Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. But these are what essentially what could happen, and what, based on my experience in Thailand, this is kind of how it unfolds, right? You get these little clusters, and then it turns into a huge problem where you have provinces that are locked down. You have provinces that require queues to come in. You have provinces that require all kinds of stuff, and it couldn't come at a worse time. I'm on vacation until the 27th or something like that of April, and I'm trying to fit in as much vacation as I can. I've got trips planned to Samui and Phuket, which are already paid for. And if Phuket and Samui decide that they're going to be one of these provinces where you have to do a 14-day queue or a 10-day queue or whatever the case may be, then my vacation's screwed. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing for me at all. So this is how it could affect domestic travel in Thailand. if you're traveling domestically in Thailand, let's say you're just getting here off of your ASQ stint. Well, as long as you haven't been to one of these 5 provinces, then you should be okay. My hope is, see, Thailand has the ability to track and trace probably better than any other country I've seen so far. They track this stuff and can control it quickly, but they overshoot. This is my opinion. Overshoot the amount of people that need to stay in. Like they overshoot the warnings, right? The labels and that kind of thing. Hey, Prep for it. Good to see you, man. But you know, it's like I don't know. I'm not saying they take safety too seriously, because there's no such thing as taking safety too seriously. But there is a point that I worry, I get concerned that it's going to ruin travel for not only myself, but for millions of Thais that are looking to go home for Songkran, to be with their families and spend that time with their families. This is part of living in Thailand. This is the way it's been. And if you read some of the reports, I mean, you're going to hear fear mongering, okay, from some of the reports from prominent people. I will tell you, it's probably not as, I just have a problem with the whole fear mongering thing. I don't, just not my, fear mongering is just not my, it's not something that I'm interested in. It's not something that I want to listen to. I don't think the Thai government itself is engaged in fear mongering. That's not what I'm saying. But there are people who who have influence, who are putting out statements of this is going to be 1,000 times worse than than the first or second time that the clusters broke out. I'm not a doctor. I just have an opinion. I don't see that happening, and I don't see it happening for 2 reasons. One, when the first and second broke out, there was no magic shots available, and the tracking and tracing was in its beginning. He just says, "I fear blue cheese." So do I. I don't like that stuff either. But the tracking and tracing and all that stuff was in its infancy. People were just learning, or the government was just learning how to track and trace properly, and they were getting their healthcare workers onto it, and that kind of thing. Now the technology is even more advanced. We have people that have been, we'll say, inoculated in the kingdom. And people that are receiving magic shots every day. So that being said, I think it's hey, Stuck, good to see you, brother. Thanks for dropping by, man. Really appreciate it. But that's why I don't think this is going to be a bad thing. The only bad part is if the provincial governors decide that if they go in real hard on people, if they go real hard to what am I trying to say? I'm trying to be politically correct. If they put in these really harsh travel restrictions, and maybe there's a need for them, but maybe there's not. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how fast the Thai government and the healthcare system here can control what's happened. I personally believe they can have it under control quickly, very quickly. Again, for those reasons, they've had 2 waves to practice, and this time, now they have the technology is even better. They know what they're doing. They have practice at it. They They're just more. They're just, the CCSA and the government and hospital workers, etc. All those people, they're just better at controlling this stuff than they were the first two times because they've had more practice and technology has gotten better. Plus, we have magic shots here in the kingdom that are being given out. So I think that yeah, they've done a good job, James. It's come at a cost to traveling expats to Thai people. It's come at a certain cost to everyone that lives here. However, they've still done a great job keeping the numbers so low and all that stuff. David, what's happening, man? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. See you on Facebook every once in a while. Thanks for dropping by, brother. Good to see you, man. Sorry, I was reading a comment there. But if you're here in Thailand or if you're coming to Thailand, don't let fear mongering get the best of you. Okay, stay with the facts. Stay with the facts of what's happening. Stay up to date on your daily news. Thai Visa, they're a good news source for daily news. The forums that they have there, you'll see things that are put up daily, and it'll tell you how many minutes ago it was posted. Hey, Charles, good morning to you, sir. Glad to see you. There's just a ton of places where you can find Thai Visa. The Bangkok Post is a good one. The Nation is another good one. Calside English is another good one. Sean says, I got it in ASQ a couple of days ago and they transferred me to the hospital. Unfortunately, none of the staff have got enough English to answer questions every minute time I have to stay in the hospital. All right, well, first, we can't use the entire C word, so I have to remove your comment, Sean, but thank you for putting that in there. I don't have a answer for you of the minimum time. It's my understanding that I'm so sorry to hear that, Sean. I really am sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Are you in a private hospital or are you in a public hospital? If you can make your way to a Bangkok International Hospital, you'll likely be out of there in a day or two. That has been what most people have been reporting. Just simply because it's much more expensive, but they have reported. In fact, I just watched an expat video last night on a situation that occurred like yours, and they were out of there in 18 hours. So, that's the best thing I can tell for you. I can say for you right now, Sean. Brother, I really hope that it gets better. You get better. And do you have a contact here in Thailand? Like, do you have a Thai? Do you know any Thai people that could translate for you that also speak English? That's a suggestion, maybe. In worst case scenario, use Google Translate. I mean, seriously, I know it sounds stupid, but it works. Sean says it's fine. I'm young and healthy. It hasn't affected me so far. I'm at a private hospital. I would just like to know when they can let me. I got you, buddy. I hear you, man. If you're in a private hospital, surely there's somebody that speaks English there. Especially from their human resources department. They would have, well, not human resources, public relations department. They would have to speak English somewhere. But that sucks, man. I just hate that happened to you. That's not good. Not good. Agent Unscripted said it could be worse. You could be like, yes, that's true. That's very true. Mary says, my day, the C word was LOL funny. Charles says, sitting in ASQ right in the middle of soy 11. Joy, joy. Oh, Lord. That's just be safe, bro. Just be safe. That's all I can say. Asia Script says it's tough to be hospitalized overseas. Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's challenging. It really is for sure. James says, jump out of the window. Sean, no, don't do that, man. Stuck in Florida says, yeah, the C word and the V word used to mean the same thing. Good point, Stuck. Very good point. Very good point. Maybe we'll have to come up with some different code names so people won't mistake what we're talking about. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. But that's how it could affect your travels over here. The good news is when you get out of ASQ, people, especially like Charles, if you're in ASQ where you are, soon as you leave ASQ, get out of Bangkok at the time. You know what I mean? Carl, what's up, Carl? Hey, Jeremy just got out of YouTube jail for holding a certain gender accountable for their decisions. 3 months and at least 6 appeals. Finally reinstated. Been watching you, but couldn't comment. Wow. See, that's why I do what I do to protect my channel. It's good to see you, Carl. Glad you can comment back, buddy. Hate that happened to you, man. James says, Sean, your phone have a translator app. Yep. Use some kind of translator app, man, for sure. Charles says, Google Translate works. Keep your sentences short and simple. If you can break long questions into short 3 to 4 words, it translates better. I agree with that 100% because I use it all the time to do the same thing. So, yeah, you're 100% right. 100% right, Charles. With that being said, I would like to thank Mr. Don and Miss Mary for the super chats. Thank you guys very much for helping contribute to the channel. I'm really sorry I hadn't been putting out any videos, guys. For the channel members and the 18 hours that I spent in Pattaya last weekend, that video will come out at some point. It will come out at some point. I don't know when that is because I am keeping up with the changes of everything. There's Jim Pale. Hey, Jim, helping others right now. He changed his name to his website. Go to his website, helping others right now. That's a dude on a mission to help people right there. And we love Jim. Jim, thanks for being here, man. Really appreciate you, brother. Carl says, by the way, are you looking at changing schools this year, moving to a different area? Nope. Not yet. Stuck in Florida says, don't use the polarity or gender with English to tie with Google. Excellent point, Stuck. I hadn't thought about that. And thanks again, Mary, for another super sticker. I appreciate that very, very much. Very much. Really appreciate that. Every little bit helps the channel and it certainly keeps me going. So hopefully after this travel trip, or after this month, I can get all the travel in that I want to. Right now, I am in Pattaya, and I did that to get out of Bangkok. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go back to Bangkok during Songkran. So my hope is by the time I get back to Bangkok and through Songkran, there will be that Phuket and Samui will not have travel restrictions. That's what I'm hoping. Asia Unscripted. Yesterday was a remembrance party for Kevin Thailand over in Pattaya. Yep, it was, and I was gonna go, but I didn't, just simply because I only met Kev a couple times. I talked to him a couple times, and I didn't want to be one of those guys that was standing there like just so I could be on film and that kind of thing, just so I could show my face, because it was a time to remember Kev. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to show up. Um, just so people could see my face. That's not really what I do. And I think that I think let me tell you how Kev treated me wonderful with the absolute utmost respect. I had dinner with him and Rob, and he was a wonderful guy. Always returned phone calls, always answered questions. And I hate what happened to him. You know, it was a really sad situation. Really sad. Lyle says, Jim, did you get the wheelchair you were looking for? James Dean says, look like some nice paneling behind you, JC. I know. See, it's not just the white wall. There's some paneling there. Charles says, yeah, girlfriend. Girlfriend keeps changing to boyfriend, and past tense gets hosted or hosed in translation. that's yeah, it'll do that. Just look up. Jim says, sorry, I had to switch accounts. That's okay, brother. No problem. No problem. Yeah, it's been a year for Kev, man. Yeah, it gets hosed in translation, Charles. You're right. The best thing to do is look up, get like Learn Thai, the Learn Thai app. Just get, it looks like, get the Learn Thai app. You can get it on the App Store. It looks like this. Can you see that right there? Learn Thai. Get that, and it'll tell you boyfriend, girlfriend, and you can hit the sound button, and it'll say it for you, man. What's up, Matt Tech? Good to see you, brother. Mary says, hope you get to Phuket. I want to see what's up. I'd love to. I hope I get there too, because I paid a lot of money for a flight and a taxi, couple tours, all that stuff for Phuket and Samui. So let's just hope that they don't shut everything down. Has been a year for Kev. Oh yeah, Jim. Yeah, it's been a year for Kev already, man. Seems like, I mean, time just flies by, dude. Stuck says, Charles White, yes, past and future tense can get confusing with translation. It does that. That's true. Maze, do you think there is, welcome. I don't think I've seen you before. Do you think there's any province right now to travel to where restrictions may kick in very late if it all goes down? Yes, Chonburi will likely be one of the first ones, followed probably by Phuket and the Surat Thani province, which will, I'll be devastated if that happens. But there will, my thinking is, now I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's the most likely course that it will happen. I feel like most of the super concerned people right now are the people up north. They're worried about people coming home from Bangkok and the surrounding provinces going to their province up north. So they're the ones. There are 3 provinces right now up north. I went over it earlier in the video, and they are already under controlled restrictions. So, you know. Jim says, Lyle, that was someone posted, not one of my clients. Cool. Agent Script said Kev will be missed in the YouTube community. 100%. 100%, man. I like the guy. I really did. I was glad I had the opportunity to meet him. I really was. Stuck in Florida says, Matt Tech, I love your positive outlook. Charles White, Kev was the first I watched and led me to find so many other true vloggers that were like you, Jeremy. RIP, Kev. Thanks, Charles. And yes, I agree. Kev was a pretty upfront guy, and I enjoyed his vlogs. He was one of the first people that I saw in Thailand as well. Lyle says, I have an extra manual chair. I think he's talking to Jim. I know he's stuck. Mary's laughing, but Met Tech and Stuck in Florida have a unique online relationship, or at least I think it's just online. Carl says, I know Kev in Thailand died from cancer, but wasn't sure what type. It was esophageal. It was cancer of the esophagus. Never saw him smoke in the vids I saw. Seemed like he was a genuine good guy. World needs more of those. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But he had cancer of the esophagus, and it eventually got him. It spread. It was bad when the prognosis was bad. So and unfortunately, he didn't make it. Jim says that Lyle, I think they did though. Thank you. Right now, I'm having a problem getting everyone together for the elderly couple that we had the operation on the cat today. Good for you, Jim. Still making moves, man. I love it. John Paul says I left Thailand because of Kev. Air is terrible. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that. And yes, the pollution in Thailand, depending on where you are, can be rough. That's for sure. Stuck did have a special friend recently. I remember. Hey guys, I'm going to be bouncing in and out. I have company. Mary says, not laughing to cancer. My mom never smoked and has lung cancer. It happens, man. It happens to people. That's why I've been really, really, really trying to focus on my health and keep myself super healthy as much as possible. And when I say super healthy, I mean super healthy. Even my food, the things I eat, I'm not really losing that much weight, but the things that I put in my body are so much better for me than the things I was putting in my body, a few months ago in terms of food, that kind of thing. Stuck grab that one good one. That's a blockage. Block that on the channel. Just to say something about stuff like that. I'm not in competition with other vloggers, so it doesn't matter to me if I have 27 people watching or 2 people watching. As long as somebody's getting value out of the content that I'm speaking, that's it. The Ralph says getting regular checkups helps too. That's 100% correct. Regular checkups always help. And I just got I got a tooth pulled. When was it? Day before yesterday when I was in Bangkok. Got a tooth pulled there. It was only 1,600 baht for the X-ray and the tooth pull, so that wasn't bad at all. Very cheap. And of course, I don't use travel funds for any of that stuff. Yeah, Kev was a heavy smoker for a long time. He was, and that may or may not have contributed to his problem, but I'm sure it didn't help anything. 15 up, 3 down. Good. That means I have trolls. I like it. Well, we know we have trolls because we have people in the house. Do you run? No. I probably should though, MedTech. James D said they couldn't save your tooth. No. They couldn't save my tooth. I have to have 2 root canals done when I get back to Bangkok. Mary says Vietnam and Thailand are awesome for good, healthy food. So full of veggies with meat. That's true. I agree. I haven't been to Vietnam yet, but I agree with your statement about at least about Thailand. JC, ever considered Ecuador or Peru? I've been to Peru. Love Peru. Colombia, Nicaragua, DR, or Belize. Dominican Republic, Belize. All those are on my everyone that you have down there is on my list, with the exception of Colombia is the ultimate goal. That's the last place I want to go. Probably finish up my days in Colombia. Nicaragua is not on my list anymore because I watched a video. I watched several videos from a blogger, and I have no desire to go there anymore. Absolutely none. Let's see. I'm just not sure when Southeast Asia will be reopened for normalcy compared to Latin America. Oh, and Portugal. Loved it there. Never been to Portugal either. Ecuador's a place I would love to go. I absolutely love Peru. I've talked extensively about Colombia on this channel. I definitely want to go there. Belize for sure. My friend Steve Montelli went to the Dominican Republic and gave me some feedback on that, which made me question whether or not I really wanted to go there. So I don't know. We'll see. Daddy Bob, what's up, Bob? Good to see you, man, from New Zealand. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Jim says lost two friends to cancer in the last 6 months, but both did not catch it till stage 4. So yes, regular checkups pays for themselves. They got that right. Ecuador is no place to go anymore either. Oh, I have to check up on that. From what I've heard, I will definitely check up on that. Gregory says hate root canal. Last time I had a root canal pain was 1 year when I was partying in Phuket and had a solid intense pain for a week, and chemist painkiller was insufficient. Ooh, that's not good. Stuck said I don't like the DR, but to each their own. Yeah, I currently don't have an opinion on it because I haven't been there. I can just go by what people have stated. Gregory says I started self-medicating with whiskey. I hear you, man. You guys are talking about other stuff, but I just wanted to say I didn't expect this to last 50 minutes, but I haven't been able to give a regular live stream, and I won't be able to this Saturday either because as long as things go according to plan, I'm already in Chonburi. My model for the photo shoot is in Chonburi, and we should have no problems getting the photo shoot in this Saturday. Yeah, we shouldn't. I was trying to think of a problem that I could incur, but I don't think we will. James says, "Are gyms open in your area? Do you have a gym to go to?" I have a gym where I live. It's when I'm working. It's you work 9 hours a day and then you come home and work on this. When I say this, I'm talking about YouTube and trying to grow the channel, that kind of thing. So it's it's a challenge to say the least. And this year at work is going to be even worse. We're doing some things differently, and it's going to be even more emotionally or mentally draining. But that's why I'm trying to get healthy now as opposed to waiting until later. Let's see. The Ralph said, heard something about self-C testing. Think it might help travel with the shots. I heard something about that too, but at this point, it may be a little too early for that. I don't know. It may work well. Not sure. Jim says, Carl, I'm just going by what a couple of people have told me that has moved to Tampa from Ecuador. Cool. Carl says, JC, have you gotten the... We don't say the whole V word, Carl. We just say B. No, I haven't. I don't have. I can't right now in Thailand. Are most there getting it? Yes, there are a lot of people getting it, but not a lot of foreigners. I'm conflicted, not in the age group or health status that I'm at risk, but if one can't travel without it, yeah, 100%. DR, Dominican Republic, MedTech. Carl, I'm gonna pull your comment just because it's got the whole V word in there. So just say V next time, or magic shots, or whatever. something that YouTube won't flag. That's what we're trying to stay away from. Anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say, guys. The information at the beginning of this live stream is important if you're going to be traveling in Thailand over the next month. No worries, Carl. No worries. No worries. It's not you. It's just we're making sure that we conform to the rules of YouTube. That's pretty much it. So I hope the information that I've given out has been worth it. And I hope some of you guys get something out of it. hopefully one of these days we'll be able to go back to live streams when we're not just talking about travel restrictions in Thailand, and we're talking about travel options in Thailand. That's what I'm really looking forward to. So I would like to thank all of you who super chatted during the live stream. Thank you very much for your contributions, as always. All channel contributions go to travel and equipment for the channel, and that's it. Root canals come out of my pocket. You don't have to worry about that or anything else. But let's cross our fingers and hope that it doesn't get worse here in Thailand. And I will be bringing you videos. There's still going to be a channel member video on that 18 hours in Pattaya. It's a very important video, and when I do have the time to sit down and edit it, which I will eventually, you guys will really want to watch it, and the ending of it will be the difference. I will release an 18 hours in Pattaya video on YouTube, but it's only going to have it's only going to be some of the 18 hours, right? And at the end of that video, it's going to say to watch the remainder of this video, become a channel member. So channel memberships are only $2.99. It's a great way to support the channel, etc. And that's how that'll play out. Let's see here. Depending on what you used to. Jim's true. Carl, good to finally talk to you again. YouTube. Yeah, it is. I agree, Carl. Jim says, are we back on Friday night or Saturday morning? Not at this point. Not yet. Next week, I don't think so either. Because if everything goes according to plan, no, there probably won't be the only regular Friday night, Saturday morning live stream that we normally have here will be the last weekend of this month, if everything goes according to plan. But I'll be throwing in these occasional live streams. I'll be throwing in the occasional YouTube shorts, and I'll do my best to get some videos out to you guys. They may be a little out of order, but it is what it is. And we'll try to keep going in that direction. James says, if we see you with a new set of teeth, trust me, you won't. They're too expensive. Charles says, nice visit. Be safe. Not to be stupid or insensitive, but if I cannot fly home next month, I would not cry. I understand, brother. I understand. Yes, thanks to everybody. I appreciate it very much. On your way out, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys for a successful live stream. And I appreciate everyone who participated, commented, gave some information, gave some feedback. There's Jim's website. Please go there and repost this website across your social media if you can. Also, find your favorite DoMoreLife video and share it if you can. With that being said, I love you guys. I really appreciate everybody, and guys and gals. We have Mary in here. I really appreciate everyone, and I will see you on the next one. I will try to announce it in advance, but no promises. Sometimes they're just going to be pop-ups. Whatever you do today, be sure you do more life.